Welcome back. Well, there is a burning letter versus letter controversy that seems to be brewing between the Delhi Lieutenant Governor and also the Chief Minister of Delhi. Each of them who have written a letter to each other, and the battle that has broken out as far as in the Delhi Assembly with the BJP engaging in a war of words with the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, the issue is that of inflated Delhi water bills and that a proposed scheme of one-time settlement. The LG had sought details about this and has also asked questions about how inflated water bills were being sent to the consumers since 2012. The LG was not satisfied by the reply he received and he wrote a letter back to the Chief Minister. Now, in his letter, the LG has highlighted some of the language that has been used against him as well as his predecessors in the past. He quoted specific examples and then also accused the Delhi Chief Minister of not answering on the reasons for the inflated water bills and whether he should be reimbursing bills of 17 lakh consumers. The Delhi Sarkar has now replied in its own letter again accusing the LG of not answering on officers who were apparently obstructing the work. Let's also take a look at the two letters as far as that have been written from both sides.
हमारा तो काम ही राजनीति करना है, हम तो इलेक्शन लड़ते हैं, हम तो बीजेपी को खड़े होकर गाली देते हैं, हमारा काम है, वो हमें देते हैं, उनका काम है, हमें विधूड़ी जी की गाली से एतराज नहीं है, वो उनका काम है, एज अपोजिशन वो चिट्ठी लिख सकते हैं, मगर एलजी साहब ये चिट्ठी लिखे, ये एलजी साहब एलजी के पद की गरिमा को नीचे ला रहे हैं और मैं उनको करबद्ध निवेदन करना चाहता हूं कि दिल्ली की जनता ये सब देख रही है, आपको इन सब चीजों से बचना चाहिए। आज भी समय एलजी साहब के पास, एलजी साहब दिल्ली की जनता के हितों के लिए अगर आएंगे आगे तो दिल्ली की जनता उनको पसंद करेगी, उनकी इज्जत करेगी। बहुत
All right, Pratibha is also with us, getting us the details of those letters as well, because we are looking at a to and fro, Pratibha, that seems to be taking place between the Delhi LG and the Delhi Chief Minister.
Absolutely, Amit. And this is the letter that the LG has written to Arvind Kejriwal, and he has mentioned the statements that Kejriwal had made against the LG here. Let me just go through the letter. Dear Shri Arvind Kejriwal ji, your letter that I received yesterday late in the night forced me to get into the past and recall the statements made by you and your colleagues in the government and the party. I would just record a few of them for your ready reference, and he has started off with the statement that Arvind Kejriwal had made in the assembly. He goes on to write, Begani Shadi mein Abdullah Diwana, ye LG kahan se aa gaya, kaun LG, kahan se aa gaya. That entire statement that he had spoken, he has said that while you recall these lines that you spoke in the Delhi assembly, I cannot on paper put the tone and tenor of these statements. In fact, he goes on to name a few other statements that were made by other leaders like Atishit, the Delhi minister, another statement being made by Saurabh Bhardwaj as well, all of it against the LG Vinay Kumar Saxena. But more importantly, in the letter, he also goes on to write, however, what pains me more and leaves me perplexed is that in your verbose communication, you have chosen to completely sidestep the substantive issue on the so-called water scheme, which I had raised with you. The 7-page reply that you have written to me does not address even a single substantive issue that has been raised by me in the letter. It also, in fact, goes on to say another major concern which I raised in my letter was regarding the 17 lakh honest consumers who have paid their water bills regularly since 2012, and accordingly, I advised you to reimburse their bills along with interest. To my surprise, there's not a single word in your reply on these same. In fact, I'm yet to understand as to how 10 lakh people kept getting inflated bills since 2012, and how did you allow this to happen all these years. So it goes on to mention in detail the demands that had been made by the LG before, and of course it starts off with the insults that were allegedly hurled at the LG by the Delhi ministers and the Chief Minister himself.
All right, thanks for that detailed update, Pratibha. Of course, when it comes to the to and fro and the language that has been used, Mohit, the objection that has been raised by the Delhi Lieutenant Governor. On the other hand, the Delhi Sarkar, in its response, has been saying that officers were working allegedly under the influence of the Delhi Lieutenant Governor and the BJP, and they were stalling the implementation of the one-time settlement scheme. Mohit.
People of Delhi have got inflated bills, and hence he wants this one-time settlement, which he calls that OTS scheme, to be implemented. But we see that how Aam Aadmi Party is alleging that the Lieutenant Governor, with all his powers and his officers, is not allowing to implement this, while we have seen that how the LG has written a detailed response to Arvind Kejriwal saying that he does not control the certain departments which are being mentioned by Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal. And LG also talked about that how personal derogatory statements have been made against him by Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party, while the Aam Aadmi Party have been alleging that the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi is not allowing the government to work every time with the officers that have been appointed by the Lieutenant Governor, they are not allowing the schemes of the state government to be implemented. Now, this one-time settlement scheme seems to be the next brewing point between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Lieutenant Governor, while the BJP has also weighed in. BJP says that if Arvind Kejriwal says that the water is free, then how can people get inflated waters? Arvind Kejriwal is trying to divert the attention from his failures.
Right.
So clearly, we see that war of letters between LG and the Aam Aadmi Party, where LG says in past also the derogatory statements have been made, and he doesn't have the hold of the department that Arvind Kejriwal is talking about.
All right. Thank you very much for that update. As far as the to and fro of the letters that continue between the Delhi LG and the Delhi Sarkar. In the meantime, let's